pistachios red anymore.
everyone.
Somebody made a choice. The pistachios
Welcome
were no longer going to be
the
red.
Rooster Teeth podcast.
They didn't tell anybody, and they thought we wouldn't fucking notice.
Brought to you by.
When the fuck were
When were they
pistachios
red?
They were always red.
When were
Wait,
they
like
red? I don't remember red
1960.
pistachios
I
at
got
all.
it. Patrick?
Patrick, were pistachios ever red?
were red.
Did you piss off?
Patrick said he forgot about it. See, that's what they were hoping for. They were hoping everyone would
What
just not
decade
notice.
were they red?
When did that happen?
You've never seen red pistachios?
No.
No.
Yeah, they were red forever.
The inside?
The inside part or
Well,
the shell
would just
part?
they would just dye them, and then the red would sometimes get on the nut on the in the inside a little bit too. There you go, red pistachios.
Oh, the shell.
That just looks like Photoshop.
You've never seen that before.
No.
Look,
Why
you're
would they
part
do
of the
that?
problem. You're the cover up.
Yeah, why did they dye them?
Hey, it auto-completes on Google.
Red pistachios.
Dyeing the shell red or green covers up stains?
I really
but
hate my
does
shells
it?
with stains on
Dyeing
them.
my pants red.
As a woman, don't do that.
So Trevor, for reasons we won't talk about, had a black light today, and he was walking around like shining it on people's clothes. I left the room because I didn't want to know if I had any weird stains on my
Do you
clothes.
really think you've accidentally come on your jeans?
No, I don't think that's what it is. But who knows? There's like
Maybe
bits.
someone else came on his jeans. You don't know. I'm not with my jeans 24 hours a day. What if someone came and jerked it on my top of my jeans when I wasn't looking?
What if-
Hey, everyone, this is the 10th anniversary of the podcast. Did you know that?
Imagine if someone broke into your house, came on your jeans, and left.
And the only way you find out is by just shining a black light. What the fuck is that? You like go back and review security footage and there's some dude whacking it onto your jeans.
If you're into that, you just go to a retail store and just take him into the little room with you and knock one out on it.
Go on.
Then you're good.
There was a girl I went to a con with.
I could have bought pre-cum jeans.
She's a guest.
Like, so how some are pre-worn in.
Yeah, go ahead.
This girl I was talking to is a guest at a lot of cons. She does voice acting, and she apparently received gifts very often from fans. But one gift she received in particular, not quite sure how she found out, but her husband discovered that there was semen on it.
How?
I don't know if he had a blacklight or
How do you know it's semen from a black light? It could be anything ultravioletly reflective.
I don't know how she figured
What
it
was
out, but
the-
she was telling the story.
She can't even say what it was.
Like, I'm sure hot sauce
think
would
it
show
was-
up under a black
I think it
light.
was like a doll, like a stuffed animal.
What if you jizzed hot sauce?
Blowjobs would be a lot more fun.
So, pistachios used to be largely imported from other countries, mainly the Middle East. And the way pistachios were harvested there, it would leave stains because they weren't immediately hulled. So, in order to try to hide the stains, they would dye the pistachios. Now, almost all pistachios, 98% of pistachios are grown domestically in the United States. So, and we harvest them differently, so there's no staining that they're trying to
Who
hide.
cares if their shells are stained? I don't understand.
I don't get it.
Who
Peanuts
gives a
look
shit?
like they just got dragged through the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
they're
a monkey
awful.
nut.
And Jeff eats those boiled peanuts.
He also eats circus peanuts.
Yeah, he eats circus peanuts too, which are like styrofoam that's flavored like banana for some reason. I don't know why they made the peanut-shaped candy taste like banana, but that's what it tastes like. If you live in a part of the world where people eat boiled peanuts, you're a fucking lunatic.
Actually, I think
and
boiled
everyone you know is a lunatic as
Boiled
well.
peanuts are good, I think.
They're awful.
Nothing
No,
wrong with
they're
it.
good.
So it's like,
What are they? They're just peanuts that are boiled instead
Yeah.
of roasted?
Yeah.
They're a bit
but
wet.
they're mushy.
Yeah,
they're
they're
like squish,
like wet nuts.
but not like a full squish. Like it's a squish and they get
softer?
hard. Yeah, it's just like it's the worst.
It's a partial squish.
It's the worst.
It's good.
That was my nickname in high school.
Partial squish.
Yeah, I mean, you get
I
where
don't wanna
where the name peanut comes from because they're like peas a little bit. They're just like,
Oh, yeah.
and they're like
They're
in
not
a-
like nuts at all,
They're
though.
always like in a little cup with it's all like dingy water. It's just gross.
What kind of
Boiled
peanuts are you
peanuts?
buying? What do you mean
Yeah,
they
you
come
get
in?
them like they have them like convenience stores and gas stations when you're driving.
you wouldn't take a
through-
shot of nut water?
I wouldn't take a shot of nut water.
What if it
No.
was hot sauce?
On any level, I wouldn't take a shot of nut water. Would
I
you
think
take a
they're-
shot of nut water?
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
I
I'd show
think,
up on a black light.
I think
Just don't get it on your jeans.
was it the Brazil nut they had to stop selling because the shell was poisonous to people?
I think cashews are poisonous in their original state.
Yeah, I don't think you can buy Brazil nuts with the shell.
I get a
I used to
Brazil
sell
nut.
them at Waitrose, and then there was like a big recall on shelled Brazil nuts.
Also, it's not like everything that's a nut, not necessarily a nut. Cashew's not really a nut. It's like we just kind of lump it in there. Peanuts aren't nuts either, but it's like, it's okay. It's
What is it then? Seed?
legume?
Peanuts a legume.
Legume.
Cashews always feel like a treat. Like whenever you get a bag of mixed nuts and there's cashews in there, I always go straight
Because
to
they're like
cashews.
100% fat.
Yeah, they're not.
You know what else is like that? Macadamia nuts. Those things.
Oh, so good.
The guy who plays York in Red vs. Blue and originally played a character named Dexter in Matt and I's first movie. His name is Sean Dugan.
Oh yeah.
Matt went to Hawaii with his family. He came back. He brought back a bunch of macadamia nuts and coffee for some reason. And then Sean Dugan came over and he ate like 2 jars straight, just like of macadamia nuts. And we calculated it. It was the recommended daily fat intake. He ate enough to last him about 12 days.
Wow.
Jesus
The
Christ.
calculation that we did.
So,
Did he have a heart attack?
It's an enormous amount.
Last night I was at Walgreens here close to the studio, and I was walking through the candy aisle, and I saw they had Reese's peanut butter cups. It was 2 cups that weighed a total of 1 pound.
Lovely.
So it was 2 8-ounce Reese's peanut butter cups. And I was like, did they print the nutrition information on the back of this? And I looked, and they say that it's 1/16 of a serving, so basically 1 ounce. It's like if you extrapolate that to eat the whole cup, it was like 1,400 calories if you ate one of those cups.
They shouldn't do that anymore. They should just tell you everything. Like up
This
to a
whole
certain
package
weight
is
level.
this.
Yeah, like a box of cereal is not 1 serving, although sometimes for me it is. But they should put on most things, especially I think anything that has sugar in it, just basically like the whole thing is this. Period.
My favorite thing is mini wheats because it says the serving size based on how many biscuits it is. So it's like 22 biscuits, I think, is 200 calories or whatever it is. So whenever I'm doing it, I just
Who
count.
counts their mini wheats?
I do. I always have 22.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Give
22,
yourself
I
an
think.
extra one.
Don't
for
we
a
have
treat.
those in the cereal thing here? It's like one of the cereals available in the
Oh.
bin here.
Yeah, we do.
Are we
I don't
talking
eat
mini
them.
wheats or frosted mini wheats?
Frosted mini wheats.
Who eats just
Nice.
mini wheats? I don't think those even exist.
Oh,
They're not.
I don't think so.
They're just like tiny shreddies.
Shreddy shreds.
I
Frosted
when we went down
Shreddies.
to New Zealand for the
Shredded
first time, I had to eat Weetabix.
I love Weetabix.
I fucking love that.
It's so
really
good.
good. It's like a big biscuit that you put in milk. And it turns
I
into
have to
flakes.
eat them so quickly.
Yeah, they get pretty
They get
sloppy.
very soggy.
Yeah.
I was severely constipated in London.
Go on.
And the doctor told me to get some Weetabix.
They make you shit.
Yeah. No, they didn't.
Is
Lots
that
of
what was
fiber.
wrong with you at Arctic London?
There was other things wrong, but
You were constipated?
it was
You were
to
full
the,
of shit?
It was to the point where I actually got like an infection and like felt woozy and
I remember. You were
had a
fucking sick.
temperature
From
and,
being
like, all that
backed
stuff.
up?
There's some other colonic issues I'm experiencing. I have to get a colonoscopy.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Get like,
They're gonna shove a camera up my butt and
Live stream.
look around.
I got to do that because of my age. I'm supposed to go do that.
It's gonna be available for first members.
Yeah, where can first members watch that?
You want to do it together? Can, we get like can you get like a couples massage and do it together? Like that same kind of thing?
Well, it's funny because the doctor who was telling me that I should get one, or rather like set up the appointment for me, she was like, we might as well also go down your throat as well to check that out while we're doing it, since you'll be under anyways,
The
just
old
for
Eiffel-
good measure.
The old
Where'd you
Eiffel
find this
Tower.
doctor on?
Yeah,
Tinder?
yeah.
And Trevor's like, I hope they use a different tube. And I was like, oh,
Gross.
come on.
No, they just start with the mouth and they can use the same tube on the
It's
other
true.
end. Yeah.
It's easy. It's
As
already
long as they
lubed
go
up.
that way. Yeah.
Would you even care if someone live streamed the inside of your butthole? Like,
Yeah.
it's not like
It's
anyone.
very personal.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not like someone can see it, but it's not hot or anything.
You can,
No
just,
one-
you
no
can
one-
just find any video of a butthole and stream that and be like, look, it's my colonoscopy.
You know what else isn't hot? Me shitting, but I don't want people to watch that.
That's true. She brings up a good point.
Just because it's not hot doesn't mean I don't want people to
Oh, yeah.
see it.
So you going in for your? Have you got it scheduled yet?
Yeah, it's this month.
See, I was a weird thing because
Merry Christmas.
I'm supposed to get a colonoscopy.
my gift to
I'm supposed
myself.
to get it this year. is when
the
I'm supposed
first
to
time?
Start.
Yeah.
But I actually was, because I have a history of colon cancer in my family, I was trying to get it earlier. And I think I've told this on the podcast before, but had this whole conversation with my doctor saying, hey, I'm about 38, so I think I should get a colonoscopy. And he's like, well, you shouldn't really, we don't recommend you start that till you're 45. And I was like, oh, well, I have a history of it in my family. He goes,
Yeah.
but still not till 45. I go, yeah, I just think I kind of want one. And then he started to like back away from me. Like I was trying to convince him to
Too
give me a
hard?
colonoscopy. Like I was working too hard for it. And you could tell he was getting like, ugh.
Yeah, the fact that the doctor recommended I get one means like they're actually concerned,
Yeah.
which is like, she's like, it could be something simple that could just be like treatable, or it could be worse. So she's like, usually for someone who's 29, I wouldn't recommend a colonoscopy, but she's like, for safe measure.
But you're pretty hot. So
They want to see up that ass. You know what I'm saying?
Would you let me give you one?
you're looking at me or Barb? You're looking at me, but Barb's
You.
getting the colonoscopy. Me?
Yeah.
Give me?
Would you let me
No.
put on a glove?
I don't want you looking at my butt.
I wouldn't look. I'd feel.
But that,
I just checked the prostate.
Well, now I'm in.
oh no, so not a colonoscopy, a prostate
No, yeah,
exam.
prostate exam. Yeah, I don't.
Do you know the difference?
Fuck no.
Well, I don't want the camera going up you. I just want to
just
check
wanna
the prostate.
Feel his asshole?
Yeah, you
Why
wouldn't let me
don't
do
you
that?
start by feeling your own prostate when you wash your butthole? How about that?
How about we
that
do
as
this?
step one?
Can I feel my own prostate?
How about I come over to your house and I just accidentally back up towards you and you stick your finger up my butt? Because that's how that happened with your
Yeah.
cat, right?
I bet you could.
Isn't that your story that you're sticking to? That you
I picked up a cat and it butt went on my finger.
never happens to anybody ever.
never
In the
happened to me
history of
since.
butts and fingers, that's never been true. Ever, ever, ever.
The story makes it seem like my whole finger went up. It was really just like the tip just touched the anus. It's about as far as it went.
Okay. There was early on in the
I wasn't knuckles deep up a cat.
what I guess was pre-video days of the internet, there was a big long discussion about FARC, and it was a text discussion about whether or not a cat can sit on a countertop in the kitchen because then it does his butthole touch the countertop. And people were saying it absolutely would, and then people were saying no.
Well, it would
and then
suck
the
its
guy
butt
who
up, wouldn't
originally posed the question, someone suggests to him, why don't you get some lipstick, like your wife's lipstick, put it on the cat's butt, and then see if it like leaves a little like a little kiss on, on the countertop.
And?
He 100% went and did it, and he said, yeah, it gave a little smudge.
Of course he did.
He didn't just have it sit on glass and just look underneath. He had to put lipstick on the
How
anus
pissed
of the
would
cat.
you be if someone, Trevor, used your lipstick on a cat?
I would not be happy.
You know, $1,000.
You know what else is touching the counter at that point? The fucking cat's feet that have been in cat shit. And
Oh,
cat dirt shit.
You know what? I figured out why you're so upset about like feet and washing hands and everything. It's because your hands are so gross. I was just listening to a podcast from years ago, and you were talking about giving a keyboard to somebody, and you had to clean it because your keyboard was so gross.
Yeah, my hands are gross.
before you
Hands are
gave it
gross.
to somebody else.
What a great segue talking about old podcasts.
Oh,
Oh, we're
is
doing it?
We have a little game that got put together.
Oh, it was made?
Yes. Where I don't know who exactly went through it. Let me take a look. I might have it in my notes here.
Eric?
Someone went through. Ariel Mayer went through. She helped and helped to get some clips, and Eric worked on this as well, and I think Patrick did too.
Where's
Took
Eric
some.
today? I feel like he's avoiding me.
He's out today.
He's out.
They collected some clips of things that we've said in the past on the podcast, and they're going to play it back for us out of context, and we have to try to figure out what the hell we were talking about.
Okay. So does it start with the person who you're going to hear? Like if we hear Gavin, Gavin's got to tell us first.
Sure. Then some of these I think are people who aren't on tonight as well.
Oh, that we have to guess what the context was?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care about those ones.
Yeah. Fuck those people. They're the worst.
So I figure it was a nice little way to look back after 10 years of podcast. So do we have those up, Patrick?
How many decades is that?
So like we went down and saw like all the little nerds and stuff.
Went down and found all the little nerds and stuff.
I mean, you're in
Any
that-
convention we've ever been to.
You're in that chair, so it has to be like within the last.
I have the episode number here if you're curious.
Oh,
That was probably what, 300 something?
450.
4, yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, so that's
recent.
not long. That's a year ago.
A little over a year ago. Went down and saw all the little nerds.
Was it a?
I know what this is.
Was it you waiting in line for the prequels? I feel like a midnight launch.
Are
or
we all
something?
supposed to guess, or are you supposed to guess?
I
says he
know
knows
it. So I'm not going to say anything. If anyone else
Here's
wants
my
to
guess. You were at the midnight launch for some popular title. Barbara?
Like, does that include video games, or are you talking about movies?
I was talking about a movie. I was talking about video games specifically, but if you want
Okay.
to go with movies, you can do it.
Yeah, I'm
Waiting
gonna,
for all
I'm
the
gonna
little
say
nerds.
like people in line for some movie screening.
Yeah, you were at like a VIP section of a place, and then
that's a good
you went down to all the people that you look down on.
All the people that you very unhumbly look down upon.
Yeah.
From my ivory tower looking
Yeah.
down. I believe that's actually from when I went and revisited math camp.
Oh,
Oh.
I
Is
don't
it?
remember
do we
that
have
conversation.
more context on that?
Oh, do we have like?
Esther didn't believe me that math camp existed, so she went with me. And,
Is it still a map?
Why would you try to prove that to your wife?
I was like the director of the math camp.
You're gonna fuck things up.
Emailed me. He wants to, me to go down and catch up. I was like, "Do you want to go?" She said, "Yes," because I think it was finally like, all right.
Wow.
That was a really long
Okay,
clip.
so that reminds me of another bit too, because behind you, we're back in the live podcast. By the way, this is gonna be so confusing for audio listeners to have random audio pumped in. There was on the shelf behind you was a carton of milk.
They threw it away. I was going to drink it on Extra Life. They chucked it.
I think one of them was about to explode,
So you decant it nicely into a container and put it back.
and then the other one I
A
think was
year-long
actually used
experiment.
the other one was used in last year's Extra Life.
All right.
Miles drank it.
Well,
What?
poop.
All
Wait,
right.
was it from 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Whoops.
Well, not 2 years. It's like just over a year.
I mean, we're
and we just did Extra Life.
Did you say 2 years is just over a year?
No,
Well,
I'm
it was
saying it
just
wasn't
over a
2 years
year.
ago. It was just over a year. It just happened to cross over 2 Extra
No, I'm
Lives.
saying from this Extra Life that just left.
I know that.
finished.
Last Extra Life was a year ago.
Right, but wouldn't we have done it a whole year before that?
No.
Yes.
No, he didn't say it was a year old when Miles drank it, did you?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Wait,
Why
no.
would Miles-
It was like
A month
4
old.
or 5 months old or something
Or
like
like
that.
a month old.
Yeah.
But why would
Some say that's a little under a year.
What's funny about drinking a
Significantly.
month-old milk?
Nothing.
It
No
lasts
one
a
said
month.
that. They killed your bit. They just drank milk. That's all they did.
It was a month-old milk that wasn't refrigerated.
Okay.
Why did Miles drink it?
I think because that was the one that was labeled for that year.
Oh, God.
I think that's when they
He
had
was
cereal.
thirsty.
So let's get some new milk because I'm not gonna let this go. I'm not gonna let this rest.
He had
Okay.
22 mini
New milk.
wheats.
We'll drink it next Extra Life.
Okay.
Someone get some milk.
We'll get some more milk.
Don't
Okay.
open it.
What if
this
I
time.
spit into a container? And
Do we have another clip?
Sitting there,
Where's
going,
that case?
"Cabron, come play with me."
Wait. I got what?
I was just sitting there saying, "Ay, cabrón, come play with me."
Bro, come play with
That's
me.
from podcast number 1 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, he was just sitting there saying, "I cabron, come play with me." The only person I would say that about was you, Gus, and you'd be a little kid. I can't even imagine what that is.
I have no idea.
Wow,
Definitely
also
racist.
like 10 years ago.
Definitely, that
You
doesn't
can't
hold up.
host the Oscars anymore.
That doesn't hold up. Yeah, I know. I can't host the Oscars. Can't delete that tweet.
Maybe you were playing
Cabron, come play
some
with me.
sort of Mexican video game.
Ay, cabron, come play
It
with
was
me.
before Guacamelee came out.
Oh, maybe you were playing The Sims and you made a Mexican.
Maybe you were in Mexico and trying to get people to play soccer with you.
Okay, I'll go with that one. What's yours, Gus?
It was the guy with the car battery hookup at the bars.
That might be. That's a good one for back then. This bar game we'd play where they'd shock us
I feel
with
like you have
copper
a
rods.
very
No.
high advantage.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh.
But I feel like I was doing a
you
little
see what
kid
I have.
voice.
It's just like a little list of titles. That's it.
Cabron, come play with me.
What is it?
You should
Why?
do this for your own personal redemption. That's what I think.
Personal redemption. I don't know what I'm being redeemed from. I've been redeemed from the fact that I haven't got 1,000 points on Assassin's Creed yet. I will.
No, you
There's
won't.
no statute of limitations on getting it.
No, you
I'll
won't.
get it.
No, you won't. I know you won't.
In Assassin's Creed,
Just Cause. Where's that?
I let you borrow it. I haven't seen it since.
It's in the case with all the other games.
Where's that?
Just sitting there,
Where's
going,
that
"Ah,
case?
cabron, come play with me."
Where is that case?
It's
I was actually quite close. It was about a video game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause it's a Cuban game, right? So there you go.
So you're doing the voice of a video game.
Yeah, what's his name?
Rico.
Rico? Yeah, Rico. God, Just Cause 4 just came out.
That's crazy, yeah.
Teddy's so fucking excited about it.
10 years. Four games. That's pretty fast.
Was that the first Just Cause?
Yeah.
I remember we said the other day I was like, when Jeff was on here, I kept throwing like old sayings from like the early Drunk Tank days of the podcast. And I remember I got home that Just Cause was about to come out, and we used to call it Just Cause all the time. What are you playing that game? Just Cause.
No, but what are you playing?
Just Cause.
Who's on first?
There you go. Exactly.
All right, we'll do one more here.
All right. I like this, man. This is
No,
fun.
do more.
Do them all? All right.
Yeah.
Let's do the
Fun
next one
game.
here. I came from a small town, so I didn't know what big city shits look like.
So
All
you've
right.
clearly gone to like
I think someone did a spit take on
Yeah.
it.
you've clearly gone to the public restroom in a convention center
I'm
or
gonna
something.
say- I'm gonna
and I
say-
think there was just shit like all up the back of the toilet seat.
I'm gonna say you're in New York City and went into some like public bathroom, like at a restaurant or something, and saw a
I've
huge dump in the
No
toilet.
fucking idea what
I have
this
no
is about.
idea either, but I'm totally
What
guessing.
podcast is that from?
That's 432.
Okay.
It must have. So I'm trying to think. I know Gus. When did he leave Eagle Pass, Texas? That's when he went to Rice.
Yeah.
So something at Rice where you saw a turd?
Houston. There's a lot of shit in Houston.
There is. Maybe he went to an Astros game. Or a
Oh,
Rockets
maybe.
game, or something like that. I'm okay. Let's see what it is.
What is it? I felt like it was a wake up call. Like when I was younger and when I first moved to Austin, I like started going out to bars downtown, and I came from a small town, so I didn't know what big city shits look like.
That's awesome.
I still don't know
tell the context.
Even that, I would put that as the clue in the game for what the
The bit
context
to
is.
show would be like what led to that conversation.
Or what was I about to say?
Yeah.
I guess
Tell people what episode that is. So
that's episode 432, Big City Shits.
big city shit. So somebody who's live and can hear this, try to look up episode 432 and tell us what it's about. That's why Eric didn't come to work today, because that clip sucked. That's why. He knew it. He's
Well,
hiding.
the clip was good. The context was
Yeah.
missing.
We see a
Well,
little
that's
more.
the
Quite there.
fucking clip, Gavin. So
I'm
what's the other criteria
saying
for what would make the clip
It was
a
a
good
really
one?
good standalone clip.
Okay. The explanation was bad. The answer was bad.
What's the next one?
In the middle of a meeting when he does this, and I'm like listening, and then I go, God, that's fairly recent too. That haircut is like not that long ago.
That's
Is that how you judge the age
That's
of stuff?
437. That was right
Drinking
after Big
champagne.
City Shits.
You're in a meeting.
I'm in a meeting and I go,
Is that just about you
I must
snorting
have
in
gotten
general?
something like on a text or something that made me laugh.
I'm imagining that you were in a meeting and you were falling asleep, but someone told a joke and you pretended to laugh, but like woke up at the same time. So you did the.
I think it's just you.
something one of you two sent me, Gavin or Barb sent me while I was in a meeting. That would be funny.
That would make sense.
And I'm not supposed to laugh, and I'm like,
What is it? Do you
want to guess? Gus, you haven't guessed.
I have no idea.
All right, let's see what it is.
Let's see what it is.
I will say that we have an employee here that he hasn't been on the podcast yet, but it's David Eddings, the head of our publishing at the Rooster Teeth Games. And previously, he's worked at many places, and I think the thing that he has gained the most notoriety for is that he's the voice of Claptrap, and he now works at Rooster Teeth. And he got up at a meeting and he gave the best intro for himself ever, which he said, "Hey, my name is David Eddings. You might know me from this. You might know me from that. The rest of you know me from swiping left." And I just thought it was such a funny fucking joke. And I laughed. I was like in the middle of a meeting when he does this, and I'm like listening, and then I go, that would have been our offsite meeting. That would have been for one of our management offsite. So you definitely would have been there, Barb.
I don't remember that. I don't remember him saying that.
It was
a funny joke.
2 years ago?
Yeah, when he first came to work for us.
Yeah. Or was that 3 years? How does
You
that
all
work?
should have had funny intros when I first met you. None of you did.
I'm sorry, I wasn't quick enough.
20 years ago?
Yeah. Yours was funny.
21 years ago?
I beat you in a video game and you got mad at me. You've been mad at me ever since. I always assume it's because I beat you at Dead or Alive 2.
Why don't you have a rematch?
Well, we did immediately, and he perfected me like right after that.
But why don't
He
we have a
was
rematch?
furious.
Bernie's
in
tried to
today's-
challenge me a couple of times. He tried to also say that he could beat me at StarCraft. And I got so sick of hearing him talk shit that I bought it and installed it at the computers at the Buda apartment. And I think the game was over within 10 minutes.
In your defense, you're right. In my defense, super cheap move. Super cheap. Zerg Rush. It was garbage.
It's a legitimate strategy.
It's garbage. You were just like, oh, he destroyed me. It was not even funny how fast he beat me at StarCraft. It was pretty pathetic.
Listen, it's the only thing I got. This video game.
StarCraft? Yeah.
Video games.
Yeah. All right, we done with that?
No, next one.
Okay, is there another one?
We have a lot still. We'll do one more.
Do you have any for me and Gavin?
Are there any with Barbara or Gavin? They're lucky. I'm sure you know.
You guys ever been on the podcast?
We've been on the podcast a few times.
No.
Go explore. Go kill a mouse or something. Have fun.
Kill a mouse.
You don't have a job. I mean, what does a dog do? Dog does stuff.
Yeah, but dog does pointless stuff, like
I know.
catching a ball.
That was I think the longer they are, the better.
Yeah.
So
Dog
your
does
cat's
stuff.
lazy? Did you have when did you get your first cat? When did you get Smee?
2014.
So that looks like it could have been around 2014.
No, I don't think that was that
And you were
old.
saying you were disappointed that Smee is
377.
lazy and doesn't do anything.
Is it 2014?
Maybe.
I'm wearing a day 5 shirt.
Yeah.
No, that was season 1, day 5 shirt.
It looked like the old couch here. It did not look like it was annex.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was the annex. Don't know.
Don't know. We were talking about Barb's colonoscopy. That's what we were talking about.
I mean, we're talking about like.
I think it was your
Seeing
cat.
eye dogs
I think
or
you were
something?
upset about your cat being lazy.
Someone's giving you shit about your cat, having a cat versus having a dog.
All right, let's see. What is it?
Or maybe we saw the motion camera footage where the cats don't move all day long.
What do you want a cat to do?
Just anything. It's like, does a cat really just exist to eat so that it can sleep for another fucking day?
Yeah.
That's what it does.
What do you think a lion would do if it didn't have to hunt? It would just eat, shag, and sleep.
I know, they just sleep. That's it. They're not like...
But sleeping's great.
Go explore. Go kill a mouse or something. Have fun.
Kill a mouse.
You don't have a job. I mean, what does a dog do? Dog does stuff.
Yeah, but dog does pointless stuff, like
I know.
catching a ball.
Dog's a pain in the
Dog
ass.
does stuff.
So the conversation, we were wondering what cats do all day. I wonder what spurred that conversation, because I remember this one time we talked about a video of a guy did a time lapse of his cats, and they just didn't do anything all day.
It's like that guy
They moved
who-
with the sunbeam.
It's like the guy who has that YouTube channel where he just sits cross-legged on the floor, staring at the camera,
That guy's
smiling.
fucked
Came up
up,
last
dude.
week, actually.
That guy's fucked
Oh, yeah.
up.
Speaking of old couches, I'd like to remind everyone that this episode of the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by...
Does an astronaut need to take his passport to space?
They have to come through customs on the way home. I remember that Neil Armstrong had to declare stuff that he brought back
From the moon?
space?
Uh-huh. There's the entry form into the U.S. from U.S. Customs for Neil Armstrong.
What was his answer?
Yeah, but not
Dirt?
from the...
Like rocks and dirt, yeah.
But it's ship or car or plane, though. There's not like a tick box for...
I think they had a special one
Shuttle.
made.
What?
Also,
Customs?
don't forget, they're not landing in the U.S. They're landing in the ocean.
Well, that's what I was saying. I was like, so they need their passport just in case they land somewhere in another country and they don't have a passport.
Didn't they say, like, who was it that... I forget who it was. I was reading an article about this recently that when, like, one of the first tests when they had someone orbiting the Earth, they weren't sure. I think it might have been... Maybe it was Neil Armstrong. Well, anyway, one of those early astronauts, they were
He
orbiting...
didn't orbit the Earth, did he?
Maybe it was John Glenn then.
Okay.
When they were orbiting, they weren't sure exactly where they were going to land when they came back in. So they gave him a stack of cards that said, hello, I come in, I'm a stranger, I'm lost, I come in peace. Please take me to your leader in like 20 different languages. Because they weren't sure. They said he might land on some remote Pacific island and they might not be able to get to him immediately.
Damn. You imagine that just being like, you might land anywhere on Earth. It'd be terrifying.
Well, the Soyuz capsules, the ones that they send people up in now, those traditionally, I think they still might, they have a gun in them. I think it's a 3-shot revolver.
Shotgun. Or isn't it like a shotgun or something?
Something, but it's for the cosmonauts to be able to fight bears if they land like in northern Russia.
I thought you were going to say something a lot darker.
Oh,
Like if they
yeah.
know they're not going to survive and
One
they
of
want
them
to
space crazy.
I thought they also...
Yeah.
off themselves.
They also have instructions on the outside on how to open the capsule in case like they land somewhere and it's just like a random civilian happens to find it and needs to help get them out.
Fucking hell, dude.
Did you ever see that?
Talk about operating exit rows.
Yeah.
versus, like-
It's one of the weirdest movies that came out in the last 2 years. It was that's the,
It's the customs declaration form that they had
for
to
Neil
fill out.
Armstrong coming in, right?
Cargo, moon rock, and moon dust samples.
There you
But
go.
can't NASA just take care of that? Be like, all right, customs, we got this. We're NASA.
All right, U.S.
Also,
Aren't they the government?
if Neil, what if what he brought back, if there was moon rocks, dust samples, and then there was something that just had a black bar over it, like they like, left that whatever that was off.
Or what if it was
Over $10,000 U.S.
Yeah, it was moon rocks and
Parasite.
over 200
Alien
cigarettes.
egg in my abdomen.
The flight routing says Cape Kennedy, Moon, Honolulu. Like,
That's just someone really wanted to fill out a funny form. There's
Did he land
no
in the
need for
Pacific?
that.
Is that where they landed?
I guess I must have.
I don't know. I guess I assumed it was the Atlantic. I don't know why. I guess because they take off near the Atlantic.
Yeah,
So,
Why don't they just have?
Pacific's a bigger target.
true.
Why don't they just have the capsule be a boat?
Gavin, I mean, why not? They should just give up and hire you as their engineer.
It is a spaceship.
It's true.
Holla.
Could be a watership too.
Mm-hmm.
Just need a little putt-putt on the back.
Why don't they just have the whatever the space shuttle or whatever deploy one of those slides and everybody can just slide down back to Earth? Just make a really long inflatable slide and they
But
jump
take
down.
off your high heels.
Why don't they just make a giant human-shaped silly straw? Just slip and slide.
Or just like let it stay in orbit and parachute. Why not that? It's a lot of junk in the ocean from us dropping capsules into it.
So they do take their passport?
I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe someone on the ground holds their passport for them.
Maybe they bring like a photocopy? I don't know. I'm trying to
Can you imagine trying to travel with a fucking photocopy of a passport?
The reason I ask is that they could land in any country, but also I assume they're very conscious of all the weight that they're taking
Very
up.
much so,
and
yeah.
a bunch of passports is not insignificant when you're using that much fuel.
I think astronauts started stowing away stuff that they could then sell, right? Wasn't that a whole
I
thing?
think someone got in trouble for that.
I know in Apollo 13 that was a whole bit with I think Kevin Bacon's character.
Yeah. And then didn't someone like sneak food onto an orbiter at one point?
I want to say like a bologna sandwich.
Yeah, it was
or
something stupid like a
that.
sandwich or a chili dog or something.
What's wrong
And
with
they
that?
got in trouble because they didn't know like how it would behave in space if it would
Yeah.
break up into like small pieces that would get into the instruments.
Yeah.
Chili everywhere.
If there's the opportunity tomorrow to go to space, to go to the moon, take off, you do the full space travel, would you guys take it?
Oh, you go through all
Yes.
the training and everything too?
Yeah.
John Young smuggled a corned beef sandwich into space.
That's what it was. Yeah. Yeah. corned beef. I don't even know what corned beef is, to be honest with you. What makes beef corned beef? You
Isn't
put
the
corn in it?
outside isn't just the beef with the shit around the edge?
That's pastrami.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know what corned beef is. Is corn involved in any way?
Maybe it's corn-grown beef.
I feel like we're distracting ourselves from the red
Oh,
pistachios.
that's the stuff around the edge, look.
That's corned beef? Is there corn involved? What kind of beef is it? I'm lost in this now. I'm in the weeds with corned beef.
So, Barbara, would we go to the moon if we had a chance?
I was gonna give up on the question, but
I'm bringing it back.
Thank you.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Wait. But now we know there's corned beef sandwiches up there. So
at least
does that
one.
change your answer at all?
How much did Neil Armstrong get paid for his moon mission?
I can tell you that Richard Garriott paid about $30 million to go up with the Russian space program. He was on the podcast and we talked about it. And he had to have surgery on his liver before he could qualify to go because they did like a full scan of him. This is from memory here, and I'm probably paraphrasing, getting something wrong, but they had like a nodule on his liver, and they were like, that could cause a problem. It's not a problem, but in space it could cause a problem.
Yeah.
So he had to go and have like proactive surgery
Get
to
his
remove this
nodule off.
nodule. Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
The term comes from the treatment of the meat with large grained rock salt, also called corns of salt.
Wow. Never heard it called. You ever said
stupid.
corn of salt? Ever?
Well, I don't make corned beef very often, so
Corn of salt.
thank you,
That might as
Casper.
well call
what
it anything.
Salt on the outside? Ugh.
What's wrong with salt?
Well, it's just like if you're that amount of crusted salt on the outside, that's pretty salty. It is.
Salt's
dude.
good though.
It's pretty fucking salty. It is.
Do you like salt on your rim for margaritas?
2 years you're gonna be listening to me do that out of context. It's pretty salty.
That is a dumb name though. That's like, you might as well say it's like onion beef. We've got onions.
dumb name.
We got onions of
Yeah.
salt on there.
It's salted beef, but they call it corned beef for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like a dill pickle. How much dill is involved? Like none, right? It's just a pickle.
Yeah,
It's just a cucumber
I don't
with
taste shit.
some vinegar.
That's just his name.
Like,
But
is
it's
there
not
any undilled pickles?
But it's not a dilled pickle.
It's a dill pickle.
It's a dill pickle.
But I assume that means that they put dill in it.
No, it's just the. Isn't it just the kind of pickle? I thought it was like a cherry tomato. They don't take a tomato and put cherry all over it. Is it
We got a tomato with a cherry on
I
top.
typed dill tomato. Thanks, Gavin.
I don't think they ever dill a
You
load
think
of
it's a brand
pickles.
name?
No, I just thought it was a type of pickle or a type of cucumber.
But it's
that-
like if I take whatever the thing is and pickle it, it becomes a dill pickle. But if I shave it up, it becomes dill.
Is a dill.
Dill's like a
pickle.
little
No, it's just
herb.
a type of pickle.
herb.
Well, it's all cucumber, right?
Yes.
There's
But
no
dills
such-
aren't.
a pickle doesn't grow.
Pickled cucumber flavored with dill.
Yeah,
So you're exactly right. So it's not like a cherry tomato.
I've never tasted the dill. And if they took the dill out, the dill lobby's making a lot of money
that-
from that, dude. That's
Are
what
there
I'm saying.
other?
They're forcing you to put dill in dill
I'm just
pickles.
saying, you're making a big deal about this.
Nice. That was a solid pun.
That's good.
So what other types of pickle are there?
Kosher?
Yeah, I don't know. Kosher pickles? Sweet pickles are gross.
Sweet pickles are bread and butter?
What's
Gross.
Wrong, what's wrong with people that
Yeah.
they eat those?
Pickled onion is the best.
No, they're not. No.
Patrick says they're good.
I hate that. I hate sweet pickles and I hate those bread and butter pickles. Get
Are
that
they
shit
the
out
same
of here.
thing?
I think they're
They're
different.
just
I don't know.
thick and yeah.
Gross.
Sweet pickles.
So do
gross.
they dispense the dill
Go ahead. What dispensing dill?
through like a dill hole? I mean,
Gus, you got any puns you want to do?
I can't deal with it.
Oh,
wasn't that
you're
the same as
killing me.
Barbara's?
No, it was a variation on Barbara's. I'm not doing one. So fuck
That's why I
off.
said I can't.
I do want to say we were talking earlier about
What's the
dill
what's the
pickles.
dinosaur's favorite pickle?
What?
Dilophosaurus. What's that? I forget. Was it meant to be a pickle's favorite dinosaur? I don't know. Carry on.
What was I talking
It's
about?
a really great joke. It goes really well.
What were we talking about? Oh, Barbara's messed up rectum. When we were talking about that earlier, and Barb's got to go for a colonoscopy, we talked about how you had to miss a day of RTX London,
I had to miss, one of the night events.
one of the night events. It wasn't even a full day. But do you remember? It was like in 16 years of doing this stuff, we had never I couldn't recall a time when we'd ever canceled an appearance of any kind. It was like a big discussion. We were like,
Never.
Barbara, just go. She's like, no, I can stay. I'm going to stay. I'm like, Barbara, you're clearly very ill. You should leave and go and not feel bad about it. People have to cancel sometimes.
I wasn't going to, but there was a clinic within the convention center that I went to first before going to urgent care because I was feeling terrible the whole day. And the doctor there was like, all these symptoms combined, plus you have a fever. That makes me worried because that could be an infection. If I had no fever, I probably would have been okay to deal with it. But she was the one who told me to go to urgent care. And if she hadn't done that, I probably would have still gone to the VIP party.
Yeah.
No, but I felt terrible about it.
Like I just read something was that Elton John just canceled like 20 concerts or
Really?
something like that. I read the outrage afterwards, and it was just like, that does suck. I mean, if you bought tickets and you were hoping to go, but he's a person. People get sick,
Stuff happens,
or,
yeah.
and he's an older dude now. Have you seen the really cool commercial with Elton John?
Yeah.
The gift commercial?
Yeah.
That's really fun.
What is that? What is that store in the UK? They make that like their Christmas commercial every year. People look forward to it.
John Lewis?
That was it. It was a John Lewis commercial.
Yeah.
It was a good one, man.
Yeah.
You know
It's
who?
really good. If you haven't seen it, we shouldn't spoil it for you. You should just go watch it.
Waitrose is a part of John Lewis.
Is that true?
Yeah. I used to have a discount card at John Lewis.
How long did you work at Waitrose?
Almost 3 years.
It's a long time.
Did you work with Dan there, or did you make Dan some other way? Okay. What did
I
Dan do?
didn't realize Dan worked at Waitrose also.
That's
Yeah,
how you
that's
guys
how we
met.
became friends.
Was he fruit and veg like you, or was something else?
Nah, he was frozen.
Cereal?
He was like fresh foods.
Oh, did they keep him in the back, like in the freezer, like he wouldn't come out to talk to the customers?
It's like the
he was
Hunchback
on
of
a
Notre Dame.
he was on a much shittier section. Fruit
Dude.
veg was the bomb.
I forget
the
what
spiders.
led me on this
Yeah.
path, but I went back and watched the very first ever Slow-Mo Guys video with the soccer ball.
Yeah,
And it was just like, or it's actually where you did the intro and you slapped him. It was
Yeah.
that one. And
I had to record all of that in slow mo to get that effect.
yeah, all the lead up and everything. God, you guys look like fucking babies, man. It's crazy.
True. And I
How
was
long
still
ago
in my 20s though.
Yeah, it's like
That was
7, 8 years ago.
22 probably.
Yeah, 8 years ago about.
Damn, that's 8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Fucking hell.
It was- to me, honestly, Slow-Mo Guys feels like it's been around longer than that even, but
Pretty long time.
pretty nuts. Yeah. We were in a meeting today and Barbara's talking about how she discovered Rooster Teeth when she was 14 years old.
Same.
Yeah, pretty nuts, man.
I discovered it when I was 25.
Over half
25?
my life.
I was 25.
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking too, is like we were introducing, we had some visitors today and we were introducing them to people at the company, and then we got to Gus, and Matt and I were talking about Gus, and I didn't point it out, but I was thinking at times, like, I remember Gus used to be like the baby of the group.
Yeah, I was
we
the
were all like
youngest one.
28 and you were 25.
Wow.
And now it's like,
I'm still the baby,
no,
not the mama.
No,
Those-
I was- it is weird to think about though that like people like me and Gavin are older than you guys were when you started Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, you're probably older than I was when I first met you.
Definitely, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you were 27 or 28.
I was about that
Maybe
age.
26
I was 30
or 27.
because I was born in 73 and then we started in 2003. So
Yeah, and I'm gonna be 30.
you're going to be 30. You're 30, right? Are you 30? Yeah. So you're the age when
Yeah.
we met, Gavin.
I joined the
Correct.
community site when I was 15.
Do you think
I almost deleted your account.
And so this year on my birthday when I turned 30, I would have been with Rooster Teeth for half my life.
I thought somebody was sabotaging like all the little, nerdy teenagers on our website and posing as this blonde girl their age. And I was like, this is clearly a fake account.
I love red versus blue.
Then
Well,
she
there were
started posting videos.
There were definitely fake accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going back trying to remember some of the early
Wasn't there
accounts.
like one really like crazy fake account that fooled pretty much every single person on the site
there
for
was
a
one
long
that was
time?
a dude, but it was a hot
yes.
girl.
Name is My Ride is Tex. Right?
There was another one I'm thinking of.
You're thinking of the one who posed as a dead person or something like that?
I don't remember the full
Oh,
backstory.
God.
There was that one. There
If
was
you've
one
heard
that
us in
started
the
with a
past,
D.
be skeptical about people and how they present themselves online and social media. Like, oh, I'm sick and send me money. We're like, we're not cynical. We've just been down this road where we've guided people in a certain direction, and it turns out it was phony.
feel
That
I want to
sucks,
say
dude.
dark something.
You think Dark Bowler? He's a photographer. He's been around for.
No, I know what you're talking about. There's some like the word dark is in there.
Like dark fae or something.
This is a great time to
yeah.
talk about the new community site beta, which
Oh.
is now live.
That's right. That's right.
What a great segue.
Yeah. Bringing it back. No, our community beta is live, and I think we're opening it up to more people as time goes on. But if you're in there, check it out, give feedback, post around, try out the groups, say hello to me.
Start a career.
I'm very lonely.
Not many people know this. The first ever Ask a Ninja videos were posted on the Rooster Teeth forums.
Yep.
First slow-mo guy was posted in my journal on there.
Yeah. Look at we've launched mega franchises. We've helped those people get started.
That's why when people ask me like how do you start a YouTube channel, I'm very appreciative that I had, even though it was a much smaller audience than now, I had a little place to put my first video.
Yeah.
The first video got like 500 views the day I put it up.
Yep.
Which you can't do that if you just press new account.
No, it's hard.
I'm joking.
Yeah. So little communities like that are great, and it's
Yeah.
The Rooster Teeth community we talk about a lot because it was very formative for us. I'm glad we're back to the point where we have, this is the beginnings, the beta of the community site, but go check it out. Get on it. Anybody can get on it, right? If they're join up and sign up for the website.
I believe so.
Well, I will find
They
out.
will be able to soon at
I
least.
saw Jackie in chat earlier. I'm sure she'll
clarify.
pipe up. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's definitely something very different than what people are going to be used to. But
A lot more chat.
I think starting off simple is the way to go, rather than trying to do everything we want to do at once and it not working well.
Yep. I agree.
So, yeah, really happy with it.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Check it out.
How long till you're 50?
About a little over 9 years. Why?
Do you think I'll still know you
You
when
want
you're
my
50?
stuff?
No. You'll be
Can I have your
alive.
stuff?
You'll be alive and kicking at 50.
Okay. Yeah, you still know me. Why wouldn't you know me?
All right.
You know me all my 30s.
It's true.
The Avengers trailer was underwhelming. I felt like.
It's a trailer.
I want to change subjects.
Don't you feel like it was?
I felt like it was a weird tone to take. Like it didn't.
I don't know how you follow that movie up with
I
anything.
think it had to be, in a sense, underwhelming to not give away too much.
Dude, if I was them, I would have fucking waited and said the trailer for the next Avengers movie or Infinity War 2, whatever you want to call it, that's going to be on Captain Marvel. Like, that's the only place you can see it. Remember what was that Adam Sandler movie? Was it The Water Boy?
Water Boy.
Yeah, they put the episode 1 trailer for Star Wars on it. It was number 1 at the box office.
The Water Boy and Meet Joe Black, I think, were the two films
God,
that
that's
got it.
unbelievable.
Meet Joe Black.
Just
Are you
so
sure it
people
was,
could see the
wasn't
trailer.
Mighty Joe Young?
I'm pretty sure it was Meet Joe Black.
Was Meet Joe Black 99?
Which
I guess it
Joe
might have been.
movie
Yeah, it might have
was
been. Yeah, that would have been right. We thought, in your early days when you're starting out, the plot for Meet Joe Black, which is it's a pretty common concept of the Grim Reaper's death as a person. But that's what our movie in college was about, the schedule. And so we were upset with them because they thought they stole our idea.
Is that the movie where Brad Pitt gets hit by 2 cars at once?
Yes.
Which that was an
I like
amazing
how that's
visual
the
effect
detail
at the
you
time.
remember.
That's the only thing I remember from that movie. He gets hit by a car and he flings through the air, gets hit by another
Well,
car.
every now and then you see like that GIF posted online. Like I see people share it, and then
really?
yeah, and I see in the comments like, "Oh my god, is that real? What the hell is that?" It's like, just Meet Joe Black. It's just a fucking film, guys. Calm down. You're not
Just
watching
real
somebody
life.
die. Yeah.
It's out of nowhere.
And I'm sure she has a very robust career, but arguably not at the level of Brad Pitt. I always think about this when I think about movies like Meet Joe Black or Top Gun, things like that, with like Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt. And you're like, oh, that was like 20, 30 years ago. And, now they're in this and now they're in that. And I always think about their female lead. And it's like, it's just like, it's such a shorter window of time for women in that career. It's like, do you remember who the female lead in Meet Joe Black was?
No.
Well, I think the thing is
Claire Forlani, right? Am I right?
I'm looking.
Claire Forlani?
I don't even know who that is.
I feel like a lot of those generational movies, women really only played love interests, and that was really the basis of their role.
Yeah.
So they were, I guess, like very irreplaceable.
But is there an equivalent of that? Like when there's a female lead, like I guess like Sex in the City, she had
Claire Forlani. Yeah.
Mr. Big. Wasn't she on a Kevin Smith thing? Claire Forlani, was she in Dogma right after that?
She was in. Oh, she was in The Rock. What was this?
Yeah, she was in The Rock. She was in a
Meet Joe
bunch of
Black?
stuff all at once. Like
Mystery
right?
Man.
Yeah.
What does she look like?
Mallrats. She was in Mallrats,
Mallrats.
before Meet Joe Black.
Okay, so she had dark hair and light eyes, if I recall correctly.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, that's always interesting to me. Is like because when I'm watching something, and it's like I can't help but do it. Amazon does the fucking coolest thing on their thing. Have you watched Marvelous Miss Maisel yet?
No, everyone tells me I
Dude,
would love it.
You would love it.
Yeah.
They're correct. You would love it. It's a great show. But they do a really cool thing on that service on Amazon Prime Video and who knows how much money it costs to develop this. When they pause, like you pause, I'm watching Marvelous Miss Maisel, it on the pause screen, it's like you can hit play to play again, back up, go forward, whatever you want to do there. But then also there's a row of pictures and it's the name of every person in the scene and their headshot. And then whatever song is playing at that time.
Google's been doing that for a long time. I think Amazon took that idea from Google.
Where do they do it on?
On like
Google
Android
Play?
devices. Yeah, via Google Play Store.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well there
The
you
same
go.
thing where like you can tap on anyone.
I'm surprised they don't do ads when you pause.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
You know what is great about that feature is every time I watch any sort of television show or movie with my parents, my mom is always like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
so and so who's also in this movie and this." I'm like, I don't.
Well, it's great. It's a great justification for why Amazon has owned IMDb for so long.
Yeah.
It's like they have all of that data. They can just cross-reference it and sell more shit.
Yeah.
That'll no longer be a waiting game to guess who plays who.
What you were saying about the female lead, one of the ones that I'm very surprised by, considering the success of the movies and who was in them, is the female opposite to Ben Stiller in Meet the Parents. Like his wife.
Who was that?
I've never seen her in anything else, but she's in all these like huge box office hits, but then doesn't seem to do anything aside from those movies.
It's not his wife, right? Because he married an actress. He married the woman who played Marcia Brady in the Brady Bunch movie, if I recall correctly.
We need that.
It's not Isla
Amazon
Fisher,
feature
right? It's not Isla
now.
Fisher.
No.
God, who is that? I know who you're talking about.
No, she has blonde hair. She's very, I don't want to say plain looking.
Because like her, it's her, Ben Stiller, and Owen Wilson, right? Isn't that the other character in Meet the
Robert
Parents?
De Niro.
And Robert De Niro, right. Yeah.
It is
Which
Terry Polo.
Terry Polo, is that her?
She plays Pamela.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's been in.
Arrival?
Rival's fucking good.
Is she in that? I don't
She
know.
wasn't in Arrival. Was she?
There's a couple different Arrivals.
The
There's Charlie Sheen one.
Arrival.
Oh.
Is it the Charlie Sheen one?
This is the Charlie Sheen one.
Okay. That's a little bit different.
Yeah,
than
sorry, not Arrival. The Arrival.
There's
Yeah.
apparently a movie called Little Fockers. Did you guys know
Yeah,
this?
Yeah.
they've made a bunch of them.
I had no idea. I knew there was Meet
that
the
the
Parents
third
and Meet
one?
the Fockers.
Yeah, because then they had Robert De Niro, and then I believe then they met the Fockers, and it was
Justin Hoffman?
and was Bette Midler?
Barbara Streisand.
Barbara Streisand. That's who it was. Yeah.
Barbara.
Good casting. Good casting for his parents. His parents are fucking crazy to begin with. Jerry Stiller's the George Costanza's dad. His actual Ben Stiller's
His
real
real
dad.
parent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is George Costanza's dad on Seinfeld. He's got some of the funniest fucking scenes.
God, so good.
Does he ever not yell in that show?
No, and he apparently, if you ever want to have a great time, go watch the outtakes from any season of Seinfeld.
When he's trying to like fall onto the thing?
Julie Louis-Dreyfus cannot make it through a fucking scene. She laughs at everything. And Michael Richards is amazing because you could tell he gets so upset, but he cracks everybody else up, and he has to keep doing his bits
Isn't
over
that
and
the
over
ultimate
again.
frustration that you're too funny?
Yes.
Because he always stays in character too. He's like, she'll break down and he'll just be like, Elaine, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Elaine, come on. Like calling her character's name. And there's compilations of him just getting really annoyed. Because there's one bit where they're all cracking each other up and he just goes,
You're killing me.
at some point I'll get to my line. We'll get there. I have a line at some point. And it's just like, ugh.
Apparently, he's like a very professional actor, even though he comes across as this big doofus, you know.
Well, I mean, imagine you've been on set all fucking day. You're like, I just want to take my thing. I just want to film my thing. I just want to say my line. I want to be done. I want to go home.
And to give a really good delivery and just have everyone laugh and have to do it again. And some of his performances are so energetic, like he's flying all around the room and falling down and they laugh. He's like, I've got to do it again now.
Yep.
I gave that 100. I got to do it again.
I got to do like my fake a seizure or whatever, whatever his bit was for that day. And it's got to be equally frustrating that there's a live audience right there. And it's like, they're probably cracking up. It's like, you want that energy.
Did they eventually get rid of the live audience?
I don't know.
No.
I think
I know that
even in
they
the
told-
finale, they showed Seinfeld going up and warming up the live audience there.
What's worse, being in the middle of like something really funny and having to call cut, or a really emotional scene and them calling cut while you're trying to be in there?
Well, I think the emotional scenes, the emotion from the scene carries over to the people's reactions. I think that's what happened to Christian Bale.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, Barb, you've been in movies. The people who, they come and they set up the sets and they, set up the props and costumes, and then they work on the lights for an hour, and you're just sitting there waiting and waiting and waiting as an actor. And then if you have a really powerful scene, they're like, okay, it's all set up. Guys, we're almost up to time. Go. You have 30 seconds. Everyone else has an hour, but you have 30 seconds to do your job and be perfect. And it's the one thing that people are going to, really like criticize. So go. And then, that happens. And then Christian Bale sees a guy wiggling a light in the background. He's like, get the fuck away from me. Fucking get out of the shot.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah. He's like bawling. I think his character in that scene, I think he was crying about a friend of his who died.
Yeah.
And then they were like,
you have to get to a certain place.
We got to do it again. And he's like, fucking hell, dude.
That happened to me in Bloodfest. There was a really emotional scene where I wanted to like actually be crying in the scene. And so for about maybe 15, 20 minutes before I knew we were going to be rolling, I like sat alone and started thinking about stuff just to try to get myself really sad. And while that was happening, like nobody was talking to me because they knew I was trying to get into this mode.
Yeah.
And then after we filmed the scene, everyone's just like, You doing okay? You okay? I was like, no, I'm good now. Like, it's over. Like, let's get back to it.
No, yeah. It's like in sports when someone's got a no-hitter going and nobody talks to them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, my favorite traditions in baseball. Yeah, I almost said American baseball. One of my favorite traditions.
Japanese baseball.
One of my favorite traditions in baseball is when somebody comes up and they have their first points in a major league game, and everyone ignores them. Like, just they come back to the dugout, and then everyone's just like
There's a great gif of that guy like pretending to high five everyone, then high fiving himself.
Why do they do that?
It's something they just did as for fun one time, and it just became this big tradition. And then, of course, after like a minute, they all just like pile on the guy, you know, congratulate him and stuff. But it's like, if it actually, in a weird way, it shows they care because they noticed it was your first score, and then they all just sit there and do nothing.
Or it's like
Makes for some funny videos, though.
Yeah, there's some really great outtakes.
Yeah.
Here, I want to read this. I want to remind everyone, this episode of Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by...
So what do you really think about Bernie?
I don't know, he smells bad, right? Like, I mean, something personal hygiene's going on here lately.
He's loud.
He's loud. He is a loud guy. Oh, yeah.
What is this?
It's like they're ignoring him, and he's like...
I feel like that's me at parties.
That reminds me of Blaine so
Hey,
much.
guys.
Yeah, so wholesome.
I think Blaine... I shouldn't say this if he's here.
He's not here.
He's not here.
I think he's much funnier than he used to be.
He's pretty funny.
He's really funny now.
I think
He was always funny, but now he's just like owning his funny.
Have you seen him on the Spot recently? He's been fucking killing it.
Cool.
Yeah, he was the Blaine bot.
Yeah, he's been taking on different characters with
Just
different.
ask me if I've seen On the Spot.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have known better.
He was he was that caveman. He was the driving force behind the caveman when we did the
Caveman, and then
prehistoric
like
one.
he did like a wizard one, and the Clayton, the devil character he did. He's been killing it. Yeah, he's a really funny dude.
Despite what everyone says, good job, Blaine.
Yeah, you
Yep.
definitely did not blame it.
If you could fire someone at this company, who would you pick?
Tyler Coe.
What? Rip.
Nothing.
If we could fire someone at this company, who would you fire?
Ooh. Who would I fire?
I feel like I can't legitimately
you
answer
can't
this
answer that
question.
question. You can't answer that question.
That was way too soon.
Although I got a little miffed at somebody. A little bit. She's hard to get miffed at, but I got a little miffed at her. Oh, camping this weekend.
Oh.
And I took my bus, which is great. I got it registered and everything.
And you took the cat.
And I took my cat. I took the mush.
Mush.
And I took him to go camping. And it was pretty cold. So he spent most of his time in the bus by the little stove.
What a fucking diva.
What?
What a fucking
Mush?
diva. Yeah.
Yeah, he knows.
All I do is sleep all day.
He sees the Instagram likes. He knows his value. He's just capitalizing on it. Anyway, I posted a photo of me with the cat by the campfire, and I had him tucked into I had actually two hoodies on. And I had him tucked in between the two hoodies. And he had his little head poking out, and I was like hanging out with my cat. It was a little photo I posted on Instagram. Let's see if you can guess who it was. So somebody came back, and everyone was like, oh, cute. And then somebody wrote me, you shouldn't have your cat out in the cold. Take him inside. Very angry emoji face. Like this.
Someone here at the company.
Who would do that?
Someone here?
Yeah.
Someone who cares about cats.
Yes.
But it wouldn't be Hannah because Hannah's not that aggressive.
Yeah, Hannah's not that aggressive, but yeah, that's a good call because what did we lose? Oh, that's the picture. That's a weird one.
Looks like you're breaking.
yeah.
You're like do a heist with that cat.
I know, right? He
And
was
it
all
was like
bundled up. He
a
was
woman.
great. He got a little scared the next day though out in the daylight. We're not sure why. He was just like sitting there like looking around.
So who did it?
bundled him up.
Sophie.
It was Sophie. Nailed it.
Yeah?
Yeah, you nailed it. Give me an aggressive.
She's
emoji.
aggressive. She's
Aggressive emoji.
She's snippy.
Yeah. I was like, Sophie.
Sassy is the word I was looking for.
Sophie
Snippy
is-
might be a
Snippy,
little-
sassy Sophie.
So did you take her advice? Did you take the cat back
I was
inside?
like, shut the fuck up, Sophie. Because, I mean, it's hard not to give Sophie hell back, you know? And Sophie was like, I feel like I haven't hung out with Sophie. She was in my vlog like a bunch
Yeah.
because we were traveling so much. And then I just feel like I just do less of that with Sophie.
I feel like we had a time period where we were doing a lot of PR travel.
I think we were catching up on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Because we were always like super shitty about promoting ourselves. We weren't good at it.
We've
We're
never
like-
been good at that.
Well, I mean,
We're like the Canada of media companies.
we did it like kind of passively. Like we did merchandise, right?
Yeah.
You know, and stuff like that. And we always said, well, that's it. And I remember the argument of, well, we don't need to do a lot of marketing because our shows are free. That is the marketing for the company. Is like we have just these really funny videos or, you know, cool animated things, and that's what advertises our company. We don't need to go out and do this other stuff.
I think it was like close to 10 years before we actually started thinking about marketing or anything like that.
So the same time you started this podcast?
No. What?
What?
Not 10 years ago.
Oh, okay.
It was 10 years in.
You know, this is actually Dom posted a photo of his trip to Austin, and he saw us recording the first one.
I saw you retweeted that or
It was
something.
me giving
somewhere.
Jeff shit about, and I think I was doing it in this clip we played.
Yeah, the bet.
Giving him shit about the bet.
Mm-hmm.
The one, it's funny because I stuck with that for a while because I was just listening to the podcast where Jack had to pay me for a bet. He owed me $80, and I took $80 from Jack.
That must have hurt him.
Yeah, and he said he bet me something Joel wouldn't or wouldn't do. He bet me that Joel wouldn't go to Australia, and then Joel was there, and he's like, "Well, give me, I get a cut." I'm like, "No, fuck no. Well, I'm gonna pay back for your plane ticket going to Australia." But I was calling out Jeff in that one too for not paying his bets. Like that was probably like 2 years later.
I don't know if I've ever won a bet with you guys.
Really?
Yeah, which is weird because you bet shit all the time. I feel like I
say
would've-
one.
I've lost a lot.
I've been
Although
training myself.
One of the few bets I won
One.
was when Michael owed me $100, but he got you to draw penises all over them,
Oh yeah,
making the money almost entirely useless.
yeah.
You still take it to the bank.
I think I spent one of them on one of those bathroom attendants.
Oh, I think in this podcast I was listening to, I'll look at the podcast because it's in my podcast app.
Yeah, when you go to somewhere and for some reason they put a bloke in the bathroom and he
And
gives
you used
a paper towel.
$100 bill for that?
No, it wasn't in a hundred. It was
Oh.
like a bunch of 20s.
Oh.
You used a $20 bill.
Well, what else am I going to give it to some I don't know.
Don't be
Shop?
confused. I'm going to play audio from another podcast.
Okay.
You could also go to an ATM and deposit that into
It
an
wasn't
ATM.
like a huge problem for me. Okay.
That wasn't it. I'm going to play it now. That was Barb talking was not me playing.
sorry.
That's okay.
I borrowed his car to go to the airport.
Okay, so yeah, it's podcast 140. And in it, you actually talk about Gavin, who is this little smidge that was still in England.
Smidge.
And you had made a series of bets with him 100 pounds at a time. And Gavin racked up like $2,100 in bets with you.
What?
And that you just went, bye, I'm leaving. I'm going back to the U.S.
I
What the
remember
fuck?
that.
So
Wait,
you
so-
owe Gavin 2,100
I think I owed you.
What's my 2,100 quid?
I think I owe you 100 quid. I don't think I owe you 2,100.
Did you ever
quid.
pay up?
No.
The quid is in bad shape right now.
It is. I like it.
There is a bet that I won with you.
I'm
that
going to
you paid
listen.
me for.
Excuse me. I'm going to try to find this clip.
It was for $5. And this was when we were filming MDB and we were just sitting on the couch and I was drinking a bottle of water. And Gavin said, I'll bet you $5 that you won't pour water into that cap and spill it on your jeans. And I said, okay. And it was just the most uneventful thing ever. And
Did I then just go?
You went, all right.
Yeah, uneventful.
Yeah, very uneventful. But I got $5.
There was no
from you.
dilemma. It was just free of drama.
But you basically just should have given me $5.
Can I play this clip?
Sure.
So you know what we're talking about?
I know exactly what we're talking about.
Anyway, that being said, I pay off my bets,
That's
so
Jack.
you have your money. Unlike some people we know who don't pay bets.
That's me upset about Jeff Stone.
When I was in got my sweet international travel money.
When I was in London with Gavin, I kept making bets with him. I kept making 100-pound bets with him. And by the end of it, he was like, yeah, I'm up 200 pounds. You owe me 200 pounds. 200. That's great. I'll pay you later. Took out to the airport.
Wow.
Was it about?
Do you remember what we were betting? I remember what it was.
It was about Keira Knightley being in Star Wars.
No, and then it went, and then we doubled or nothinged it for the release date of the Super Nintendo or something like that. It was like a video game console, like when it came out.
Don't ever bet against Gav. That's my recommendation.
You owe me 200 quid.
You do.
Can I give you $200?
Yes.
Double or nothing. Double or nothing right now.
No, fuck no.
Do it, do it, do
That's how I
it,
got.
do it.
That's how I got into that hole to begin with.
Do it.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
One
No,
point
he agreed to $200 before that.
250.
that's so.
That's
what
great.
happened?
Did you see? Now the EU is saying that the UK can cancel Brexit.
Oh, really?
Is there going to be a second referendum?
I don't know.
Oh my god, the amount of money we already spent on it. Though.
Theresa May canceled the vote. Was that today? Yeah, it was today.
She cancelled the. Oh, you mean like the agreement?
Right, like the vote in Parliament.
Man, I'm glad I've been earning dollars these last few years because damn.
I remember the first time I went when I met you, it was almost 2-1.
Yeah, I
That's how
came here and it's 2-1.
I was pissed off everywhere I went. Everything was so fucking expensive. Like, oh, this is only £5. Oh wait, that's $10.
good.
The worst
Dollar
part about
strong,
it,
Barb.
Woo!
the worst part about it is when
America's great
the
again.
currencies
Fuck
get
this,
close
dude.
enough.
We did it.
When the currencies get close enough, they'll just price stuff the same. So like an iPad will be like $400 and £400. It's like it's such a rip off for England.
It's
Very
heavy.
passionate.
Not right now.
Well, it is.
Get a
Not so bad.
0.25% markup for being, the greatest civilization in the world, right? Isn't that what you fuckers
It's never
are?
cheaper. They never charge less pounds.
No, why would they charge less?
Right.
Pound is worth more.
Right. Because the pound's worth more.
Right.
They would never charge like £300 instead of $400.
No, they would. When there's a big enough gap, Like a $400 will be like a $350.
Really?
Yeah.
I never
But when
realized
they
that.
get close, they price them the same. It's a nightmare.
Is Brexit going to happen or not?
I didn't vote for it. Why are you asking me?
What is it going
I
to
voted
happen?
to remain.
What's going to happen now?
That's the problem.
Nobody
That's
fucking
why the
knows.
pound is where it is at $1.25 because no one fucking knows.
How are they this bad at declaring independence? Like every other country in the world has declared independence from the UK. So they have a lot of experience of knowing how that works. And when it's their turn, they're like, oh, fuck, maybe we're going or not. I don't know. Can you imagine if the fucking Patriots were like, they ran onto the ships, grabbed the tea, went to chuck it overboard and went, psych, and then just put it back down.
Okay.
That's the equivalent of what's going on in Brexit.
So Peter H. has the update. They can revoke the invocation only by either another vote or by a parliamentary vote, but the UK government would have to vote down the deal, vote out Theresa May, put in a Remain government to do it. There's almost no chance of that happening.
And also, it didn't win by that much either. I think it was 52%.
It was really close.
Wanted to leave.
And
That's that same discussion of what your team
God,
needs to
that's
go to the
so
playoffs
brutal.
and like 2 games left. It's like if Kansas City loses, if these 2 other ones tie, and Theresa May is voted out, then we'll be the wild card for the NFC.
Oh,
it barely passed, and it turns out that almost every promise that was made about it was a lie.
I
What
feel
a
like
fucking great deal.
I
What
feel
a
like
fucking great deal.
enough votes were based on a lie printed on the side of a bus. Then there were enough people who voted for that alone that actually swung the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And then
And
when
the
it
people,
came,
the
they were
people
like,
who made the lie got appointed to positions to help oversee the process and then left because they saw how difficult it was.
like the next day, they're on TV being like, well, obviously we can't actually do that immediately. That's going to take a couple of decades. It's like, all right, well, thanks for that.
We voted for president based on the fact that a woman might have written an email. That was a year and a half of whose emails. There's
I have
some-
a,
Lock her
there
up.
could be something in the emails. We don't know, but what we don't know is
We'll never know.
because they're gone.
They're private.
Because they're gone.
I have a question.
If it's such a security threat, wouldn't we be able to get these emails, right? I mean, it's like they're obviously very fucking secure because we don't have these goddamn emails that change the course of our country. It's probably her just sending to her friends like, oh, did you watch Walking Dead? Fucking lame.
accidentally replying all to company.
Yeah. Do you know that pistachios used to be red?
It's her forwarding stuff from E-Bomb's world.
Sending gifts to her grandmother. What do you say? Oh, I have a question. And I don't know much about the process, but if there was some meddling involved in the election, and that is how...
Fake news.
If there is. I'm not making a statement.
In our election?
In our election.
At this point,
where Trump won. And there was discovered to be meddling, and he won based off of that. What would happen?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Because everything that gets discovered, as soon as it's discovered, doesn't matter. He could be, listen, we could find out Donald Trump was born in Senegal, and it wouldn't matter at this point. People are like, so what? He's been in America long enough. That's fine.
But I just mean like all the decisions that he has made as president, nothing would happen to those decisions?
No, because ultimately the way it's supposed to work is that it's like the checks and balances. Like he's not supposed to be able to put anything into place without the assistance of the legislative branch.
Except for a trade
What's
war.
an executive order then?
Right. I'm saying the way it's supposed to work.
Okay.
Doesn't an executive order just he
But
signs
then
whatever?
the next president can change an executive order.
I guess.
An executive order can just undo another
All I'm saying
executive
is,
order.
if you have Congress in your favor, especially the House, if you line up with that, nothing will happen. Just really nothing will happen.
I saw
And the problem is, if you have it where there's a disparity, it seems like all they do is spend their time trying to fight or trying to get the person out of office.
I saw James Comey, I guess, gave a talk the other day. Maybe it was over the weekend somewhere in New York, and he was talking about Donald Trump, he's talking about our president, and he was saying that he doesn't know anything about the Mueller investigation. He doesn't know what's going on there, but he said that he hopes that anything that stems from that does not happen until after 2020, and that Americans need to vote Donald Trump out through a normal election. He said that he does not want to see an impeachment done while he's in office because then his supporters will feel like there's that it's illegitimate or that it's like a coup of some type. And I was like, I can see the value in that. I can see the value in having to go to the poll and actually vote him out.
I mean, there definitely is too.
And I'm no Comey fan.
Honestly, if there was an impeachment and he was kicked out of office, because I don't think that Trump would go the Nixon route.
No.
I don't think he would resign. I think he would go the Clinton route and say, I'm untouchable. you know. But then if he gets ousted, if he actually gets fully impeached and convicted and then is ousted from office, that'd be a nightmare.
But you're talking about something that's never happened, right?
It's never happened.
No
Clinton,
one's ever
Clinton
been
was
removed.
impeached, but not found guilty. Correct. That's the way that works.
Correct.
He was impeached, but remained in office because he was not found
I
guilty.
wonder how much taxpayer money an impeachment costs.
Listen, here's the thing.
Less than a Brexit?
Here's the thing.
Probably less than a Brexit.
People don't like whenever we talk about politics in general, and that's the problem with politics now, is that it's got us all pitted against one another. I think we all agree the same thing, that all these people in fucking Washington are just a bunch of fucking parasite losers. Honestly, they just suck away money.
They're a bunch
they
of
give
little
themselves
nerds.
health care. We all don't like them for different reasons, but we all definitely don't like them. You know,
Right.
I mean, there's a handful of exceptions,
Well-
but even people who have super powerful senators are like, I fucking hate this guy, but he's a super powerful senator.
Trump partially got elected on the drain the swamp tag.
That's not happening.
No.
That is
I
definitely
think he's
not
even
happening.
he immediately walked that away. Like I think as soon as he got elected, it's like, it's just a chant I said once or twice, and people picked up on it.
I remember as a kid, I would eat red pistachios, and we would talk about campaign promises and like checklists of. It was a big deal whether or not a person who ran for office fulfilled the promises they made while they were running for office.
They're talking about first 100 days and then first year. Yeah.
Now that and I'm not saying it's just Trump. I'm saying like that seems like that has just gone away, you know? And it's like, I mean, the big things for the last election were drain the swamp and then also build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. Now we're not even saying that Mexico is going to pay for the wall. That's not even.
Well, everyone, anybody knew that wasn't going to happen to begin with.
Yeah, but he just, so if is it okay to say something and make a declaration if everyone knows it's not true?
Oh, that's interesting.
Is that an okay thing to say?
We're going to Mars.
There you go. You're the next Elon Musk going to Mars.
He should have a lie jar on his desk, I think.
Okay, why not? Sure.
Who would have to fill it?
He would.
He'd have to
He's a
put quid in,
billionaire.
quid in
Is he?
each time.
Be
I think.
empty because he doesn't think he lies.
What's that?
Be empty.
A lie jar is a bad thing because they're like, you lied, did you put money in? Yep. It's like you just get like a running tab in your head.
I
No
don't know.
big
I
deal.
feel like there's a bunch that I agree and don't agree with, but I just wish he would tell more truth. I just wish the truth was more important than it is in everything. Like no one gives a shit about the truth, and it's really annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, a lot of people who are in situations, they feel like they know the situation, so it's like they instead of going through the full explanation of why it's okay they did what they did, to say it just didn't happen. You know what I mean? It's like they want to get to that end result, so they just.
I also
shortcut it.
hate the phrase "my truth."
Is that a phrase now?
Yeah, it's like that's my truth. It's like, yeah, but is it the truth?
Yeah.
Well, no, it's my truth.
It's like alternative facts and shit like that.
Yeah, it's like there's only one thing that took place.
Yeah.
Well, there's only like a thing that took place.
Something's either true or
It
it's
happened one way or there's no versions of the truth.
Yeah, we have
There's
made a
admittance, I
very,
guess.
very quick evolution
Just opinion.
from
Opinion isn't.
we should
Same at
analyze
all.
our information to now it's just basically don't believe anything. And if you believe anything, you're a sucker. And that's kind of a scary place to be in. But when I see videos of like, you know, real-time facial mapping, you know, where they can remap somebody's face and make them say whatever they want, you can't even believe what you see anymore, you know? These fucking movie companies, I just tweeted about this. They use the term live action. Sonic the Hedgehog live action.
The Lion King live action.
I know. It's just like, what does that word even mean? It's clearly not live action. It's just live action doesn't mean very realistic CG. It means
Yeah.
It means
live
not-
action.
It means not hand drawn.
Right.
Is that what they mean by that?
It means it didn't
These
get
actual
not
living
pixels.
things.
That's
Right.
like saying Toy Story is
Right.
live action, though.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not as realistic live action, right?
Can't wait for live action Toy Story 4. Saw the teaser the other day.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks dressed as Woody.
Here, I'm gonna read this.
Was it underwhelming? Toy Story 4?
It's not out yet.
They put out a teaser for it, didn't they?
No, I thought the teaser was fine.
You okay with that?
What was the teaser?
It's like all the toys are holding hands, and then there's like a spork in the middle.
It's like a song, and they're all just
You haven't
going
seen
in a
it?
circle.
Underwhelming.
Yeah, I'll talk about it in a second. I'll read
Doesn't
this
show
first.
anything.
Remind everyone, this episode of the Receipt Podcast is also brought to you by. So it's basically just a teaser. It's just like a minute long, and it's just like all the toys are holding hands, looking at each other, and then the camera's like panning around between all of them, and then it gets to like a spork that has like googly eyes and like feet taped onto it.
Yeah.
And the spork just says like, "I shouldn't be."
I
It's just
don't
screaming like, "I don't belong
belong
here."
Yeah.
And then everything goes to chaos.
Yeah. Doesn't show anything. I don't know what it's going to be about. I'm guessing it won't involve Andy or any of the original human characters.
Sid Phillips.
Or maybe it'll be like the new. Remember all the toys were given to. Spoiler for the end of Toy Story 3. All the toys were given to that other little
The
girl.
little girl, yeah.
What if Andy's dead?
It's like a hardcore, like
And they-
super realistic, gritty reboot. Andy's addicted to heroin.
Yeah, and
He's
then
he's dropped out of college.
and he dies, and the
He's using Buzz Lightyear
toys
as a
have
bong.
the toys have to bury him.
yeah.
Be awesome.
Or that they bury the toys
yeah,
with them.
Yeah, they have to dig themselves down into the coffin.
Because it's
They- no.
beloved toys.
They smuggle themselves to Cuba in his body.
Jesus.
My God.
So they can get revenge on the drug dealers who or the drug manufacturers
Who killed Andy with
gave
the
him
heroin.
a bad batch, right?
There you go.
So, $1 million, but
A lot of money.
the moment you take the money, there's one person in your life who you see on a regular basis that whenever they're in your presence, you have the Toy Story effect where you like get paralyzed and you collapse on the floor.
Like
And
every time.
anytime that person is around.
So you
Do
don't
you get to
have
pick the person, or is it a random person?
It'd just be somebody who's consistent in your life, but it's randomly selected. It could be Trevor, might be Meg, or it could be like your mom.
How would I get anything done if it's Meg?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Because it's the risk you have to take.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
Ooh. I don't know if I could take it if it was random like that.
Would you rather have me like Andy Blanchard? Because then he would just exploit it with you and stuff. He'd just show up and sit in your office all day while you're.
$1 million,
Do they feel
but-
that? Do they like? Are they aware while they're all like racked?
They've got to
out?
be, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they can hear stuff. They listen.
Yeah. Ugh. It's so creepy. It's just like it's so
It's like
weird.
you get hit by like a sudden wave of Rohypnol.
And is it intentional or just like does the Andy get close
Is it
and
like
the
a
aura
field?
like bleh,
Yeah.
and then they pass out?
No, they can move. They just choose to be paralyzed.
Yeah.
Is that what it
They're
is?
choosing to be limp.
Because they all came to life in front of Sid.
That is true. They chose to come to life in front of Sid.
I think
Man,
they just
this
have
makes
to
me
be.
want to rewatch it. Like the whole Toy Story sequence because I forgot about that. And it's a creepy part.
His head spins around.
Yeah.
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 Oh, who's
It's a
gonna
decent movie.
Taking the money?
who's
Did you
gonna
see-
voice Mr. Potato?
Oh, not Mr.
Did he
Potato.
die?
Is Don Rickles dead?
Yeah, Don Rickles died.
Yeah, so is
Oh, it's
Also, the guy who
so
does
is
the
dog.
gator. No, the dog. Yeah.
Yeah. What's his name? Vern. Hey, Vern. Guy.
Didn't he die a long time
Jim
ago?
Farney. What's
That guy died a long time ago.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, like after the first one.
That's my point. Is
I
like
mean, they replaced him so long ago. There's been more movies without him than there were with him.
that's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
I'm looking it up.
Jim Varney, right? Jim Varney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I think
rough sounding voice?
they had recorded some of his Toy Story 3 stuff when he died. Toy Story 3, by the way, long fucking time ago. Long time ago.
What, decade ago?
Yeah. It's a long time.
Did you see the live action Toy Story?
Jim Varney died in 2000.
2000.
There
So,
was
so Toy Story was in the 90s.
So he did Toy Story 1 and 2.
There you go. So
So
he's
he's
in a
in
bunch
more?
of movies. They did one.
So he's in more
And there's
than
my
he's
answer to your
We'll
question.
be in
They
half.
clearly replaced Jim Varney with Springy Dog. What's his name? Fucking Slink Dog.
Slinky?
Yeah.
Slinky.
They replaced him. So Don Rickles, who, by the way, is an American comedic legend, but they'll still find a way to replace him.
There's a
Blake
version.
Clark is the voice of Slinky Dog.
There's a version of Toy Story that is live action.
They should have got Jeff Foxworthy. That would have been so awful.
And what is that?
Someone just reshot Toy Story, like a fan film that is shot for shot the movie with real toys.
No shit.
Like stop action?
No, just like they. No, maybe some stop motion. Is that what
Stop
you're saying?
motion? Stop motion?
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I meant.
but
yeah.
a lot of
Sorry.
it's just like like on string and dragged behind a truck and stuff. It's
Sounds
the most.
great.
It's the most effort I've ever seen go into something that wasn't sold.
The whole movie?
The whole thing.
There was a brilliant idea that somebody had years ago where they reshot Star Wars, but they gave everybody 6 seconds of it. And people just
Oh,
made your
right.
only responsibility was you had to make 6 seconds of Star
So in
Wars.
whatever style you want.
Well, you were signed. I think if you signed up for the project, you were signed this. So every 6 seconds, it keeps changing like styles, and like some people are in cardboard. Sometimes it's animated, and it's just it's
But with the
it's
same
Star
I
Word. I think so.
Yeah, I
I
think
want to
so,
say
yeah.
I think so. Sometimes it has little kids. You know, it's a great idea.
What
Bob's
6
Burgers
seconds would
had-
you want?
What's an easy one? When I would want this. I always remember this when I was a kid when they get in the trash compactor and the eyeball comes
Oh,
up.
yeah.
I don't know. Something about that just scared the shit out of me.
What is the most boring 6 seconds in Star Wars?
Probably
The
a lot of,
part
like,
where
wordy
midichlorians get explained
Nah,
in
that's a
episode
good one.
1.
Oh, in episode 1, it'd be like a conversation about tax or something.
Oh,
wouldn't it?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It'd be like that scene where they do the big long exposition about the final battle, about the Death Star trench and all that, with all those shitty graphics. I gotta give them credit though.
They stuck with it.
They stuck with the shitty
stuck with
graphics.
that.
Oh, actually, in episode 1, you know the bit where in the fight towards the end, they're waiting for the things to open up
Oh,
again?
yeah, they're just looking at each
If
other.
You just got 6 seconds of just waiting like this.
Oh, in episode 1?
Yeah.
The red barriers? Yeah. Boy, that was like, that was them coming up with something. Like, we need to separate Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan in a way that they'll be separated. And there could have been a million ways to do that. And they chose this one really specific way with these red gates. But, I mean, people understood it, so I guess it's
I didn't realize that didn't kill Darth Maul.
Oh.
Yeah, because he comes back.
Because he has, like, spider legs at one point.
He's in Rebels, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we made a joke about that on one of the early podcasts. That he comes back and he's got robot legs.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that ended up happening in canon.
Did you get paid for that?
What's that? No, we didn't get paid for that. No. I'm still waiting on my Meet Joe Black money and my Darth Maul spider legs money.
What was the movie that had some inspiration from a Slow Mo Guys video in it?
Blade
recently?
Runner.
Solo.
What was the thing they were inspired by?
Underwater explosion.
Right.
An underwater explosion.
But I was the thing is, I was told that after the movie came out, and I didn't remember the part in the movie.
It was when the mountain blows up.
Yeah.
When they're doing the train heist.
Oh, that's a big explosion.
Are you credited at all in like the?
No, I mean I didn't work on it. They were just inspired by it. And
Right.
thanked me for it. So I was like, oh, that's great.
That's
Love
awesome.
it.
How'd they
Part-
thank
part
you?
of history.
Send me an email.
Did they really? That's fucking cool.
I've had that happen a lot where it's like people will tweet me stuff and it'll be like slow motion related thing.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, I think this is inspired by your stuff. And I'm always like, well, I mean, I don't own slow motion. Everyone has slow motion ideas. But then I also would get emails from people who actually were inspired. Like there was that OK Go music video.
Yeah.
And the lead guy in OK Go emailed me. He was like, very heavily inspired by your stuff. Thanks a lot. I was like, he doesn't have to send me that email.
That's super cool.
I'm blown away that he sent it. It was just such a nice thing to receive.
Yeah.
Wow.
What was the video?
I don't know the name of the song, but it's like the whole thing is in slow-mo. The whole
Oh, is it
thing
really?
happens really fast in real
Isn't
time.
there something with like paint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a flip book and...
The one moment.
Yes.
Their music video with the treadmills is
they're
one
the
of my
kings of
favorite.
music
All their music videos are amazing.
Fucking good.
They're like
The vomit comet one?
I honestly,
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know how they keep making them because they're all so creative. And after the first one, at least the first one I saw was the treadmills one.
Yeah.
And then there was the When the Morning Comes with the big Rube Goldberg machine that goes on for fucking ever.
With the ends in the paint cannons.
Yeah. And then, and then there's what's the band one? They keep like topping themselves.
I don't know how they do it.
Not even really topping themselves, but like they manage to hit the same bar.
They've
Like
made
which
it
is really
You're
impressive.
equally impressed
It
every
is,
time.
yeah.
I feel like they're just the best thing about the music video industry.
I would agree
And
with that.
it was kind of like a dying thing before YouTube brought them back. When
Yeah.
Nobody really cared about music videos anymore.
To me, they're proof if you make good music video. I mean, it's like I had never heard of OK Go before they
Yeah.
started putting out these YouTube music videos, and it's like it's the reason why I know all their songs.
Yeah, I have their songs on my iPod just because iPhone, I guess. But just because
What
of,
years?
just because of the videos.
Yeah, it's cool. I think it was a good outlet for that video format. I think it was dead. Nobody was putting it on TV anymore. It's definitely like a good bite-sized thing. It's a good video. It's the right length to watch online.
I have a question. What is Vivo?
What is what? Oh,
Vivo?
the Music Network.
Like, what does that company provide that is stopping artists just uploading their own videos?
I don't know.
Why is it all Vivo? Or used to be, I feel like some people are doing it themselves.
Could have been a rights thing when nobody gave
Yeah.
a shit about YouTube and they snapped up all the rights.
Music license.
Yeah, I assume that was a very successful business, but I don't really know what they did.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of
it's-
stuff like that. Like X-Men is not coming back to Marvel for 5 years or something like that. It takes a while for these things to expire.
Yeah, there was like that. During the Game Awards, there was a trailer for a Marvel game that had Wolverine in it. It was like and I was like, oh, that's weird. They got an X-Man into the Avengers universe in this video game, which I guess is different on video games than compared to film.
Probably different licensing. There, once again, it's like probably somebody snapped up. It was a lot easier to get the license for Marvel superheroes for video games than it was for movies.
So Vivo is a joint venture among 3 major record companies. That's why probably everyone uses it. It's Universal Music Group, Sony Music Entertainment, and EMI.
Fair play.
Biggest account on YouTube by far. I mean, in terms of views.
Current status being deprecated.
Deprecated, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because they're all starting their own platforms.
Didn't the Avengers trailer get the most views within a 24-hour period than any other video?
So for a trailer, I think that's what the
Ariana
qualifier
Grande,
was.
the latest video was huge as
Oh,
well.
thank you, next.
Thank you, next. It slowed down YouTube's commenting system. There were
Holy
so many people
shit.
commenting on it that like YouTube had to tweet and said it was because of thank you, next. So many people were commenting on it.
I enjoyed that music video a lot because it plays up a lot of old movies that were some of my favorites growing up. Had a lot of Mean Girls in there, which is great. Stuff like that. Big fan. She's she knows her audience.
My favorite video is the YouTube Rewind. Holy cow! You see this
What
year?
was your favorite part?
Did you see this year?
Yeah, I did.
Wow. What is it up to now? How many
Earlier it was like 7 million
7 million
dislikes.
dislikes. Yep.
So what was up with it? Did they just miss the mark? What
just-
happened?
It was.
It's the first one I wasn't in. Since
People
I
are
was in
just
them.
man. You dodged the bullet, dude.
It was really.
You dodged the bullet.
And it was the first time I just haven't had time to go and shoot it.
Yeah. No, you dodged the bullet.
I don't know.
Uploaded 4 days ago, currently at 7.7 million dislikes.
I think people are just using it to express their dissatisfaction with YouTube.
I just don't understand why some people were in it. Like, I know that Will Smith vlogs now, but it was annoying to see him
Start off
that video. I instantly was like, I don't want to watch this now.
Yeah, but he's probably the biggest person on YouTube this year who hasn't really been doing it before. I guess he was, he's obviously already a celebrity, but he has been doing a ton of content.
You know, it's one of those things about Rewind is, and I thought about this too when you started doing Rewind, is people who are specifically YouTubers, they invest a lot in that platform. And something that's like you have to think about when you choose to do those things is that there is some kind of end to that, or there's some other side of that. Like, oh, it's cool to do this, but then there's going to come a time 3 or 4 years down the road where YouTube doesn't want you to do it. And they get to decide whether or not you're relevant,
are you?
to do that. And you've spent all that time building your audience. You got to be careful about like handing that over to other people. You know, it is cool to do that stuff. I'm sure if, somebody had come along and said, hey, do you guys want to do Rewind? We probably would have said yes and not passed it up. But at the same time, it's like, I'm glad on this side of the equation, I'm not sitting around waiting for YouTube to not put me in it, Because I'm sure there's lots of people every year. It's like that one year that phone doesn't ring and it's one more fucking thing that person's got to think about, is the fact that, now I'm not in the fucking YouTube Rewind video. That's what happened to Gavin. He just doesn't want to admit it.
no longer relevant.
I couldn't take it. But dude, you dodged a bullet this year. Honestly, that thing is like, people are just, I think we're seeing a definite backlash against the YouTube influencer culture.
It's a shame, really, because that video is only supposed to be like a celebration. It's not really got an agenda. It's just like, hey.
Yeah,
It kind of had an agenda this year.
What was it? Oh, I didn't see it. What was
It
the
was
agenda?
like they were all talking. There was like a portion of the video where they were all talking about something, like as if they were being interviewed.
They do that. They do that now. They stop in the middle of it.
Which was a weird kind of flow to it. Like usually it's like a big music video, which I love.
I know that Lanham was pissed that none of the Fortnite YouTubers were in it.
Oh, they did a whole thing on Fortnite.
Ninja was in it.
Ninja's in it.
Well, Ninja's a Twitch streamer. Like he's YouTube is a secondary thing.
Yeah.
Like the biggest YouTube only Fortnite people weren't in it.
He should be.
That seems fucked up.
Yeah, it seems fucked up.
A little bit.
Yeah, because they had a whole Fortnite section in the video.
I'm not saying Ninja's YouTube presence is low. He's got like 20 million subs, but
I could say I watched 2 minutes of it and I didn't recognize a single person other than Will Smith. So I feel like I'm very out of touch with YouTube these days.
I didn't watch very much of it. I watched like 30 seconds of it. And I was like, I'm done.
Even
But I saw
last
Casey
year,
Neistat very early.
Oh,
on.
yeah. Okay.
even last year I didn't have time to go and do a shoot either. I had to like send in footage because I couldn't make the shoot date.
Was it you doing the floss?
No, I don't remember. I think I just dived in front of a green sheet.
Your
sent it to them.
the 2013 one was, I think, the coolest one. Like seeing you and Dan get so heavily featured in that one was.
Oh my god, that was
that was the
crazy.
Winnebago one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that 2013?
2013.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And
I know.
because we brought our Phantom, I assume they were like, oh sweet, we get free slow mo or whatever. But because it was slow mo, the amount of screen time we got was nuts.
Yeah.
I watched the edit. I was like, we're like got the most
Especially
seconds of anyone. In
when
this whole
people like
video.
I Justine, it's like flash, and then they're off screen in like 2 seconds, and you're just like.
Yeah, I think if the footage had been even slower, we would have lasted longer.
The thing about it too is I learned an interesting fact that day because I was with Gavin when they shot that, and I learned, and I've seen this since, is that Gavin pointed out that people always, when they're big thing about shooting anything is the schedule and the day, and stuff gets moved back. Apparently, the slow-mo shots always get moved back because this is what they always push them to the end, but slow-mo, especially for that high speed, needs a lot of light. So you can't wait until the sun's going down to film this stuff. And Gavin keeps bringing this up. But I've seen that ever since then. It's like people always push it because it's a specialty shot. We'll just save it till the end and things like that.
And in real time, doesn't take hardly any time at all.
Nothing.
So usually people are like, we'll just stick that on the end. But it's like, yeah, but you need the light that you've got now.
Right.
Just
You
get
can't
it
shoot
over
this
with.
at the end.
Shoot
and
it
I remember
midday.
you were helping like remind them that.
Yeah.
You were getting on their case being like, you need to shoot this now.
Who's that? I think it was the company that was doing it that year was the company that Evan, our programming director, came from.
Port LA?
Yeah, Port LA. I think that's where Evan was before Rooster Teeth at some point.
That was
Evan's
like
been a lot of
a
different
What
places.
Does the Fox Say? I think was that year.
What does the fox say?
Yeah, I
Holy
don't know if
shit!
you guys remember that.
Yeah, but they had to change. They had to like switch out the side song from that rewind. So they They like sneakily replaced the file.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The
What
non.
was the fuck? That was 2013. Damn.
Crazy. It doesn't seem like that long ago.
No. Yeah, because I guess we weren't even in stage 5. We moved into stage 5 in 2014.
Fuck.
That's coming up on 5 years.
Damn, dude. Where does
long
the time
time.
go?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem like I've been here the majority of time I've been at Rooster Teeth, but I guess it's
Well,
not
so-
by a long shot.
If we're coming up on 5 years and the podcast is going on for 10, so then half of our podcast we're done here.
Yeah, that's
So
so
what do you say?
strange.
We need to move again.
Yeah, we gotta find we gotta find a new location. We'll go to that side of the stage. We'll go over there.
I had a funny thing happen today. I went into a room at the company that I've never been in before, and it was full of people I've never seen before.
Oh, really?
And I work here.
Which room was it?
I don't want to say.
Oh,
I'll tell you after.
Okay.
Like what?
Yeah, I was just like, someone sent me in there because that might be where a thing was.
Yeah.
And I went in there. I was like, oh, hi guys. I don't know what to do, and I don't know what this room does.
Maybe were they Rooster Teeth employees?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, but speaking of YouTube though, YouTube made all their premium content, which includes Laser Team. They made it all free now, so you can watch all of it. So you've never seen it before, and you want a chance to go see it for free, you can go see it for free.
Does that mean everything is now free in future?
I believe so.
Except
I have
no
YouTube
ads.
Red though, and I haven't watched some of their premium
YouTube
stuff.
Premium.
Like Cobra. Oh, you're right. YouTube Premium. Cobra Kai. And did you watch that?
I still haven't watched it.
Apparently, it's a really good show. Yeah. So I had to find some time to go watch it. But I think based on what I'm reading is that they're moving away from that premium model, and I think the YouTube in the next couple of years is going to be maybe a return to form of what it been, because
So then what the
it's
premium
arguably a mess right now.
the premium benefit was just primarily then ad free.
And you can download.
Oh, and then offline. Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I read this discussion in regards to Rooster Teeth a lot, like with First. People are like, is First worth it? I watch a ton of content. I participate in a lot of different sites, going all the way back to like the late '90s of like being a Homestar Runner fan, being on FARC, those kinds of things. And whenever I paid for a subscription for something, and this includes YouTube today, because I pay for YouTube every month. It's like people are like, well, is YouTube Red or YouTube Premium? Is it worth it? And my answer is always the same. It's always like YouTube's worth it. Like I watch YouTube so much. $10 a month to watch YouTube is worth it to me. It's like that service is worth it, regardless of whatever the pro features are. Like I don't use YouTube Music or any of that stuff. I do like occasionally the fact that when I see somebody else watching it and an ad pops up, then I remember, oh yeah, I used to have ads on this and now I don't. Or the best feature that I enjoy the most is downloading videos in the app to then play later. But to me, it's like, it's $10 a month. It's like, I get so much value out of YouTube just in general. It's like, it's already a fucking steal at $10 a month.
Definitely.
But you should still sign up for First before you.
The moral of the story is First is absolutely worth
for
it.
premium. So that's the question. That's always the answer when people ask, is it worth it? It's like, well, is the thing worth it like on a base level?
I'm always happy just to support what occupies my time the most. It's like if it cures boredom on a plane, I'm so happy to pay for that.
Yeah, and it's like if I can contribute $10 a month and it keeps going, then that's enough for me.
And people can now download Rooster Teeth videos if they're a first member off of the app for offline viewing.
Yeah,
and you can swipe the thing and it skips 10 seconds,
yeah.
even though it's backwards. But
You
once
think it's backwards? There's a lot of debate over that. Yeah,
It's because I'm used to tapping the side of the screen that I want.
It depends on if you think of it as sliding the bar forward or backwards or sliding the screen.
It's backwards
forward.
for like 2 minutes, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm used to it now."
Yeah.
But to me, when I first used it, I was like, "Why is this the wrong
Trevor
way?"
did the exact same thing. He's like, oh, what?
Yeah, it's fine though. It works great.
And you can watch us live every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the podcast.
Also, where they could watch us on Thursday is our live holiday extravaganza.
that's gonna be fun.
That we're doing Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. Live for
Rooster Teeth, War on Christmas Holiday Extravaganza Live. Extravaganza has a lot of fucking A's in it.
Extravaganza.
That's a lot.
I think it's actually called Spectacular in our branding.
I think so too.
But
It should start with an A.
it's going to be live for everyone on roosterteeth.com.
Yeah, so if you go to roosterteeth.com, you'll be able to see it for free there. And then I think after that, I'll go through like a short little window on First on demand. And then free to watch on roosterteeth.com. We have no plans, I don't think, to put this on YouTube.
There's some really
Not right now? Maybe.
I don't know.
There's some really funny stuff in there. I'm excited to see how people react to it.
I am too.
It's
I
like
watched I watched some of the, we have some little bits, some people are like the intros pre-recorded and stuff like that. Don't want to get too much into it, but I watched the final versions of all that today. I'm super happy about it. And rehearsals have been a fucking blast for that.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we even performed the whole show for like an internal like employee test audience.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, people were like, what skit did you like the best? Or
I was like,
what is your feedback on it?
Please laugh. Please laugh.
It's pretty good.
It's fun though. It's just we're having fun with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time to wrap up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Come watch the Rooster Teeth Holiday Extravaganza.
Spectacular.
Was that the longest podcast
Thursday.
ever?
What time?
Thursday, 6 p.m. Central.
She got it. 6 p.m. Central.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
Ah.
Bye.
Click the link.